Yeah. Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out. You know the vibes. Your boy Rod Smurf, aka Smiggity, aka Smurfy, yo. You know you rocking with your boy, and you also rocking with Quan the Don, bye. Shout it out. Let's get it.
All right. So listen, today is the day before Father's Day. Very crucial, very important, very underrated holiday that we don't give enough credit to, that we don't celebrate enough. Fathers are very important in this world. But today, we are a podcast about people who are voiceless. And when I say voiceless, I mean people that can't get access to things and express their emotions or do whatever. That's what we're here for. So today, our topic is incarcerated fathers, the dynamics of being an incarcerated father, how that affects your child, how that affects your baby mom, how that affects everything when it comes to the dynamics of you having a kid and you being incarcerated as a father. So my first question to my cousin would be, what are the lines of communications that you had to deal with? I mean, not deal with. I'm sorry. What are the lines of communications that were available to you while you were locked up?
Oh, well,
And speak from your first sentence and then your second one, because I assume things improve. I assume. Hold up.
Yeah. Definitely, things definitely improved now. Well, my first incarceration, when I did 15 years, I ain't have no child. So,
But hold on, just because you ain't have no child, but hold on, I assume there's other individuals that were there with you in jail that did have children.
Yeah.
So you saw that?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I seen that. One thing I definitely seen, I seen individuals incarcerated that was damn near. It's sad to say. It's not. It's like it might sound crazy, but it's true. Like I seen good fathers like in prison, like that was parents and good. Like kids come on a visit. Um, they teaching them, they giving them the tools and the wisdom that they need out there in the world where they can succeed. I'm talking about, I know a guy that both of his sons, man, they excelling. No jail, no nonsense. Um, Respect him, and this is a guy that got 25 years in prison.
So, sorry to interrupt you, but let me ask you something. For those on the outside looking in, some might ask, how can you set discipline? How can you be a mentor when you're incarcerated? 25 years is a lot of years. Like you're not there physically in the home. You're not there physically with support financially. There's a lot of dynamics into going that. So when you say this man who you brought up, and let's shout him out real quick. Who you talking about?
I know he's gonna be mad. I can't even remember his name right now. That's my guy though, man. I know he's gonna be. Listen, man, I damn sure can't remember his name right now. His name is like,
But how was he able to have such a stronghold on his kids being behind bars for 25 years?
And it's funny. That's the thing that I was trying to pick up on because I was in a class. I was in a parenting class with him, and I remember hearing his story, like like how his kids, like how you only get 30 minutes on the phone.
Right.
So let's be clear, you only get 30 minutes a call, and he been with his wife. He was telling me since he was like 16, 15 years old, and I believe now he's probably like 49, 48 years old right now. Okay. He look like he in his 30s. You know what I mean? So I remember when we was in the parenting class and he was sharing like how because like I said, he got two sons, and he was saying how into it that him and his kids, like how they conversate, how they communicate. And I remember he was saying like one of the biggest pluses was the mother. Obviously, the mother was the biggest plus because her able to bring him up, her able to communicate with him when things was going wrong. Because I understand because she's the mother, so she don't know the things that men do. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things that a woman don't. A woman can't teach a man how to be a man. Only a man can. So now you take the man out the household. Like obviously that's like devastating. What was a plus from his story was that he was able to have his wife with the communication with them, where they were able to bring the family, to the prison, right? And where he's getting visits every week, right? And he's talking to his kid, right? So he's communicating. So everything was going on in the house, she's letting them know everything. So it's not like he's missing a beat. So he's able to talk.
So basically, the mom kept an open forum of communication between him and the kids.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
She was that link that held it together.
Exactly. Okay. And which is important because, like I said, you think about it, you're incarcerated, right? So it's like, communication is key. So the only thing you have is the phone, right? And you have the visits. Right now, which is a big plus, because I just came home. I've been home 6 months. So from me doing 15 years, the only thing that we had communication was visits and writing a letter and the phone.
Okay, so hold on. Let's transition to that. So now you're speaking from somebody who didn't have a kid at the time.
Yeah.
And back then times have changed.
Yeah.
So now you do have a kid for your second stint, and now I guess the prison system has open forms of communication.
Yeah.
Where I guess you guys have like tablets now. JPay. For all the real ones.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. Talk to us about how you were dealing with your second stint, and then how you were communicating with your daughter, and how you were communicating with your baby wife at the time.
Yeah, because I got divorced. I got divorced. This bit, I got divorced. Shout out to the divorce. No, I'm playing. Having JPay with the tablets definitely was a big improvement of communication. Definitely. Because you can do videos, right? And also like I said, you can write. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta wait 3 days like a regular letter. You know what I'm saying? You send that shit out.
Instant.
Boom. So for me, the hardest part, and I'm glad that we doing this topic about shouting out incarcerated fathers, because the reason why it's important, because like I said, I know a lot of good fathers that's in the penitentiary that is in their kid life, and unfortunately their circumstances, keep them from being there physically in the household, but mentally they are there with them everywhere they go, because mentally they tapped in, you know what I'm saying, to their kid, the way their kid carries, you know what I'm saying, that wisdom, that knowledge that their father passed on to them, which is saving them, right? Because I think the biggest part of parenting is the kid respecting the parent. You know what I'm saying? Because if the kid respects you, if the kid will listen, the kid, will definitely carry on that wisdom and understanding that you give it to them. Because you have a lot of kids that if they don't respect you, they're not going to listen to you. Because like I said,
hey, hold on, how can you command that respect from a child when you're behind bars?
I think that's it though. You can't command it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not owed that respect because you was taken away. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that you have to meet your child where they at. For me, um, and I'm speaking like when I got incarcerated, my daughter was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always in my daughter's life. So that was the biggest transition for me. Um, because the most hardest part is that when I was home, I was always with my daughter. And when I got incarcerated, I'm away from my child. Away from my child so long that when I was able to see my child on a visit, she didn't know who I was.
Mm. Let's stop there. Let's dig into that. Let's take a deep dive. Like, how did that make you feel?
That made me feel like shit. You know, I remember, and you know what? That's something that always plays in my mind a lot. That 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 was the point that I said, yo, I can't do this shit no more. This jail shit, I cannot do this shit no more. Like because to have someone that is your child that you made, that you always was in their life, to look at you like, who is you? That shit is the most devastating thing. Like it's like it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it to myself. Like you know, she didn't ask to for me to be taken away. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And here it is that it's like, yo, you've been going so long. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know who you are anymore. Like who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that I know that is here. This man I'm seeing right now, I don't know who this man is because he's not around. So yeah, that's and then with that it makes me blame because it's like, see, you should have been. I'm telling my at the time my wife, um, you know, you should have had him here. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you should have had her here. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like you're the reason why this. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to point blame because you're so hurt, you're devastated, you're trying to figure out like because like I said, there's no respect, whatever the case may be. Because here it is, it's like you did it to yourself. So now if you had a bad relationship with your baby mother, your wife, whoever the case may be, like they control everything. Like it goes back to what I said about my man with his wife. Like he was able to be a good father because his wife made sure that he was able to know what was going on in the household. You know what I'm saying? Kept him
open line of
communication. Communication is key. Well, if me and my child mother don't have communication, you know what I'm saying? Then obviously, then I don't know what's going on, right? I don't know what's going on. My child probably don't really know about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's crazy. It's chaos. So when my child see me and didn't know who I was, and didn't feel comfortable, like you know, when I hugged her, she didn't even hug me back. Like my child was looking like who was just that shit hurts. And I'm gonna say this: it only hurts fathers that are fathers. That like when you are a father, when you are really putting in the work and you really taking care of these kids, because a lot of times individuals, right, don't take care of these kids. What happens is that they be glowing and and sitting there and saluting themselves like when their kids is fly because of their mother, right? Their mother keep the kids fly, but then they post them on Instagram or Facebook talking about, look at my fly little man, and you ain't even putting in the work, or you're not even putting the time in. I'm talking about, so for them dudes, don't really hurt. But for the individual that's like fathers, that's there, that put in the time, right? That make sure financially that that they kid is straight, that they good. Being through that situation, that shit hurts. That shit gets you. That shit hurts because it's like, damn. Because you know, um, I don't think at the same time no father wants to sit there and see the one that they created, not even know who the fuck they are. I don't think nobody want that. And for me, that was when I had to grow up. That was the growing up stage because I was so hurt. So um, I said to myself, when I go upstate, I'm going to tap into to all them self help programs dealing with parenting. And I went to the parenting class. Now I know other episodes I spoke upon the parenting class that I went to when I was incarcerated. Like I said, that was a big stepping stone. You know what I'm saying, for me, because like I said, it helped me tap in. You know what I'm saying, but when it comes to communication. And one thing about the parenting class, where they taught me was that, especially being incarcerated, you have to be on one page with the mother.
Speaking of being on one page with the mother, you brought up an interesting point where you said, guys are incarcerated and some guys hold their baby moms or their wives down financially. How are you able to do that from a prison cell?
Um, I mean, it's not so much really you could do so much when you're in prison. You know, I mean, you know, you do what you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone sends you $100, you might say, all right, well, I'm gonna send 50 to my child. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
You try to find ways. You try to find different little hustles, different ways where you can support.
When
yours.
You say little hustles, like inside the facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
So
talk
like
about,
if you get like a paycheck in there, I mean, well, not.
I mean, it could be anything. You could be selling food. You could be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever hustle, anything. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Like I said, it's just whatever that you can do to survive in prison. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause prison is all about survival.
That's a fact.
And my thing is though is that it was imperative for me as a father to, even though I was like, I didn't let jail stop me from being a father, and that's what the self help programs taught me, is that just because I was incarcerated didn't stop me from being a father. Right? Just because I was behind bars, I was still a father. So with that being said, whatever needed to be done to take care of mine, I made sure that what I mean, that I did, because I realized, like I said, my child had asked for me not to be here. And one thing about me is that I never had a father. Don't know my father. So I always made a promise to myself that when I have a child, they're gonna know their father. Right? And that was beating me up because I told, like, it's crazy, right? Because I used to always tell my daughter, like, I would never leave you. Like, Daddy always gonna be here. And that's why that day was so devastating to me, because when I hugged my daughter and she recognized me, I remember me saying, Daddy would never leave you. Daddy would be here.
Why you were incarcerated?
No, when I was home, I used to always, I had my daughter, like,
okay,
Daddy,
as a newborn,
Daddy never leave, you know what I mean? And like I said, when I got incarcerated, my daughter was 2. So, my daughter, I used to always, every time I have her, I just always was like, Daddy love me, Daddy always be here. And then for me to be incarcerated and not see her for so long, and then when I finally did get to see her on a visit, she didn't recognize me. The only thing that kept playing in my head was that I would never leave you.
So let me ask you something. There's some people out there might not understand your situation, understand what you're going through. Some people out there might say, hey, if you love your daughter so much, why'd you get locked up? If you loved your daughter so much, why did you not fulfill that promise? What would you say to those people out there?
What I would say is that why I didn't fulfill that promise is because I had demons and I had things within myself that I didn't understand. It's crazy, right? Because we always say that, like, I love myself, right? I love me, right? But then we put ourselves in the craziest, dangerous situations right? And then it's like, damn, well, if you love yourself, why don't you treat yourself good? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like, yo, here I am, right? I'm saying that I'm gonna never leave my child,
Right.
but I'm doing everything that can take away from my child, but still saying and believing that I'm never gonna leave my child. That's just it's the mental, it's the mind state. So it's like I'm believing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hear what I'm saying? I'm doing everything that could take me away from my child, but I'm telling my child, Daddy will never leave me.
Mm.
So when you look at that and you say to yourself, like, that didn't even make no sense. How did I even come up with that? How did I even, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it though is like, that's why I'm saying that is like, that was ignorant. You know what I'm saying? It was me being ignorant. It was me not knowing. And this is why when my daughter didn't recognize me and I said to myself, I thought about the promises that I made her, this is when I said, I need help. I need help.
So you recognize you needed help.
Yeah.
You got the help in prison.
Yes.
Shout it out. Shout it out. So now, let me take you back a little bit. So after you had that visit with your baby mama and daughter, she didn't recognize you. Going back to the yard or cell, whatever the terminology is, going back to your humble abode, what was your thoughts laying down at night? Like, what were you, like, what mindset were you in?
Honestly, my mind state was like, if she not recognizing me, who she recognizing? What man is she recognizing? You know? Like, who is it that she's calling daddy and looking up at someone that she respects? My mind state was that, like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, and, is she gonna hate me? Is she gonna? Next time she see me, she gonna say, "You ain't my daddy."
Ooh.
It's like, and then the thing about it though is like, and then when I'm speaking to her, it's like, I'm like, wow, she's 3 years old now she's 4. Then it's like, yo, she's intelligent, but she's speaking like she's like, hey, daddy, like, yo, well, why you not here, daddy? Like, daddy, I want you to, like, you said that you're gonna come, daddy. When you said, why you lied to me, daddy? You said you come home, and that shit is like, I'm in jail. But I don't want to tell her I'm in jail. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that I'm in jail.
Yeah, we always we always hit them with the dad's in college.
Yeah.
Dad's on vacation. Yeah, right.
But see, mine.
Hey, shout out to them bullshit lies. The kids know y'all niggas is lying. They know stuff. They know you're lying. They know. Trust me.
Shout out to them bullshit lies.
Shout out to them bullshit lies.
Yo, but listen, and the thing about it too though is that, when I think about like, my daughter, right, and when I was incarcerated, because we talking about the mind state, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to say like, because when my daughter used to be like, "Daddy, where you at?" Right, and I used to be like, "Yo, Daddy's on a long trip."
Right, you hit it with the college. You gotta hit it with the college. Every nigga hit it with the college.
You know what it was? I used to always be like, she's always like, "Yo, Daddy, you out?" I'm like, "I'm driving." Right? So she's like,
terrible life.
Daddy driving. But she's a kid. So I'm like, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm up like, yeah, he's driving. I'm like, so I'm like, yo, listen.
Hey, shout out to the mom for holding that line. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's what he's driving. But yeah, he's driving. But it was funny because like, because she was like, "Oh, Daddy, you been driving for a long time." right? Yeah.
No, I know she ain't say that.
Nah, yo.
Nah, edit that out.
Nah, yo, we good.
Nah.
But listen.
Oh
I told
my
you, I
God.
shout it out, man. Listen, man, this is a real podcast, man. We keep it real, and we talk from the hip. I'll be honest. So my daughter funny, right? So now listen. So now my daughter tell me, listen, Daddy, you've been driving, like, listen, you got, listen. So I tell her, I said, listen, I'm getting closer. So I remember one time. Now I'm gonna tell you one time that was like real intriguing, right? One time, my daughter's mother was like, she said, I had to talk to your daughter today, like she was breaking down. So I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? She was like that. She was like, she said, yo, man, Daddy said that, he's coming, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see him. I don't think he want me. Like, I don't think he want to see me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she was really breaking down. That's before she was going to school.
Wow.
And, she was acting out that day. And it's like, I remember my daughter saying, she said, Daddy don't, want to see me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as if like she's doing something, you know what I'm saying? She's like, wow, like question,
She's like placing the blame on herself. Yeah.
And there's no, and it's and like it makes
that's
me
also
feel like
associated with child psychology, especially when divorce. Anyway, go ahead, son.
No, but it really hurt, man, because how my daughter feel like trying to, you know what I'm saying, like thinking that something is wrong with her and everything is wrong with me. Everything is wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. And I remember that. I remember one time when my child mom, she was like, she was like, yo, Daddy, you know what I'm saying? He's coming, man. He's driving. Like I said, he's on a long trip. So, and he's close. He's close. So she was like,
that's work.
So she was like,
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
So she was like, so where my daddy gonna live at? You know what I'm saying? Because so she was like,
God
no,
damn.
No, she was like, yo, come my daddy.
She a better journalist.
She said, yo,
She should be on a podcast asking the
she
question.
was like, so yo, my daddy gonna live here? And she was like, nah, your daddy can't live here, baby. I know, he has. No, she was like, no. So she was like, so if he can't come here, where he gonna live at, mommy? My daddy can't live on the street.
Yo, big gangster.
So
big gangster.
And I remember my child.
Hey.
Yo, shout out to my daughter loyalty.
Hey, shout out to loyalty, my cousin Europe.
I love you, baby girl. So I remember that, and I just laughed though.
Wait, is that my cousin? It's my cousin, right? Hey, you my cousin? Hold on. Yo, this family tree, like, I don't get the family tree thing. Like, I don't get the whole, like, I get the first cousin, right? But then after you get to, like, the second cousin shit, I just feel like, why is it, like, first cousins? Yo, we all cousins. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Like, we all cousins. Like, why gotta be a first cousin, second cousin, third cousin? Like, yo, we all cousins. Anyway, I didn't make up this shit. But,
yeah, so what you about to say?
So we talked about you in prison. We talked about you seeing dynamics before you even had a kid in prison. Now, let's get down to the real nitty gritty of this whole topic, the meat. Book pause. No. You get out of prison. Mm-hmm. Now you're out, focused. How is that transition from being a in-prison dad to being an in-person dad? What are the differences? What are the, of course we know, you're seeing your daughter now, But so what are some things as an incarcerated father, knowing you're about to exit out of jail, what are some things that's on your mind that you have for your daughter?
So, I mean, it's just how you said, what's the difference between me being incarcerated father, and me being an out in the world father? Well, the difference is, I mean, obviously, like I'm out in the world, but I feel like I said, I'm not limited. You know what I'm saying? You know, in prison, you're limited. You know, like I said, you only have communication is everything in prison. So you have is communication. So,
right.
So if my child mother can't bring my daughter on the visit, I can't see it. Me, I can just go to see my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I don't need
freedom to do.
I don't need someone to be. I don't need somebody to be dependent to, to depend on someone to come and bring my child to me.
But now that you're out though, you're free, and you feel like you go see your daughter. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens if you? I'm not saying this is your situation. Matter of fact, let's keep it a fucking buck. Mm-hmm. What happens if she don't want you over there? Now you're free, mind you. You just came out. Mm-hmm. You're free. She wilding on you, and she know what type of nigga, what time it is with you. Mm-hmm. And she's like, one day she on her bullshit. Maybe she got a boyfriend over there. Maybe whatever the situation is. Whatever the situation, she's like, yo, you just can't see her. You can't see her today. Now, you done travel, whatever, or you live around the corner, you done walked around the corner. As someone that's just been incarcerated, want to see your daughter, and your wife, baby moms, whatever their status is to you, they putting restrictions on you when you out, fresh out. Yeah. What is your thought process? How are you feeling inside? Feelings first, then the thought process. Because we know the thought process.
Yo, this is my thing. The feeling process is like, yeah, like you being raised. I done went through that. Plenty of times being out here. I feel like this, and this is truth be told, that shit on fathers that shitty fathers. Like, don't shit on the good fathers, the good ones. You know what I'm saying? The ones that, make sure that their kids got the things that they need. The ones that make sure that, they pay that child support or the money that whether, the money that the child mother and the father agreed to, and he's paying. The one that, when you ask, listen, to come get your child, whatever the case may be, and that, they able to do that, whatever the case may be. The one that is there, you know what I'm saying? The one that don't make excuses for it. The one that is there, whatever the case may be, that is out here busting their ass, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that, that they're able to get the money that it takes for them to take care of their child, you know what I'm saying? Doing the right thing out here. Like, don't shit on them, because the first thing that comes to my mind is when that shit happened to me was like, got some fucking nerves. Like, I ain't, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not in prison, you know what I'm saying? Because, and it's crazy because, like, when you in prison, right, and you a father, right, and the child mother, because like I said, in the streets, you can say, when your child mother play games, you can say fuck all that, and you got ways to go around certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can go to court, you know what I'm saying? You can sit there and you can really, like, make shit happen, put shit in motion. When you fucking incarcerated, man, that shit is hard, man. That shit is hard. Motherfuckers don't give a fuck. And it's like I said, though.
And they can just always W at any
W.
time.
And then you already incarcerated when you dealing with 1,001 motherfuckers, different personalities. You know what I'm saying? You're incarcerated.
And y'all like in a box.
Your box.
You dealing with killers, rapists, jack boys, drug dealers.
COs.
No. COs is just like, that's not even, I'm just talking about your neighbors. Sure. We didn't even get to the COs.
Yeah.
So just your neighbor, your bunkman.
Yeah.
Or I know they got dorms now or something, so I guess.
No, like mediums is like dorms and stuff like that. Like, maxes and cells and stuff like that.
Okay, so you have to deal with, like, you living up top, got to deal with this guy. Down bottom, left, right. Yeah. And any day, mind you, these ain't like your regular neighbors that go to work 9 to 5, shut the door. You got to deal with these people every day until you're released.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a dynamic in your head. So when you go on this visit, boom, you might have got into a situation with a nigga. Mm-hmm. And then y'all niggas gotta, you might have to kill us. Mm-hmm. Might have to shank them, might have to knuckle up. Mm-hmm. But right now, the mental fortitude to push that aside and to smile on the visit, to say, hey, babe, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Hey, baby mom, wife, woman that I had a child with, what's your day like? Oh, you know, my day is good, did it grocery shopping. But in the back of your mind, you gotta go back to like the jungle. Yeah. Mind you might have been beef with a nigga already. Yeah. Yo, that's like, man, like one thing I can say, man, I appreciate you incarcerated fathers. You know, y'all may not be able to be there physically, but please don't give up hope. There's gentlemen out here that have not given up hope. There's gentlemen out here that have realized what they did was wrong and they needed help. That's why I appreciate my big cousin Smurf so much. Like from his first bid, when he got locked, he was young. He was a different animal. To the second one, when he got locked, he's made so many fucking improvements as a father, as a person. Like, as man, I
look like this though. I wanted to be, and like I said, it started out like I said because of me being a father. Like, you know, when I did my 15 years, I wasn't a father. Right. It was no one for me to feel bad for. Like, because I felt like it was all on me. Like, what the fuck? But this time it was different. It was like, yo, I left behind a child, and like I said, when my child didn't recognize me was a time where I had to say, yo, listen, I need to change. Like, so when you spoke about ready to shake, I mean, you know, you got dudes that you might have beef or you might do this and that. I did 3 years and I didn't get a ticket. Mm. Right?
Wait, in comparison, how many tickets did you get when your first step?
Box time, a whole bunch of, man, come on. I can't even, man, come on. That shit ain't even, yo, bro,
because some people might not understand, so they're like, yo, I didn't get a ticket. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, for those, you know, like I said, when I mean getting a ticket, being incarcerated, meaning that, yo, like, you know, getting locked up or going to the bottom, whatever the case may be, you know, like I said, this 3 years that I did, none of that. And the reason why is that my daughter meant more than, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to waste any time. Like, my first incarceration, I caught 2 prison beds. Like, I was in prison and caught 2 new charges while being in prison. It's like, and on this extent, it was like, yo, my daughter, me getting back to my daughter was what I wanted. So I didn't give a fuck if I had to swallow my pride, if I have to fuck with individuals. It was nothing because my goal was I'm getting back home to my family. That's it. I'm getting home to my daughter. That's it. Like at the end of the day, like that's it. Because nothing means more. It's like this dude taking shit. Like, and I ain't have to go. And I ain't have them problems. Like I said, like I did 15 years. I did the first bid, so I knew a lot of people. So I ain't going through a lot of shit. But what I'm saying to you is that, you know, even though regardless of what, every day I woke up saying, even arguing with like CO, like asshole CO doing dumb shit. I could have said some fly shit when they did dumb shit, but I didn't because my child meant more than that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, one thing that I kept saying is that my child's not gonna understand this. Regardless of what though, like if I bust this nigga beside his head because, you know, I was watching a TV show and he just rudely came over here and just turned the shit. Right? And I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck is you doing, yo? You see I was watching that? Man, suck my dick. Get the fuck up, nigga. Right? My daughter ain't gonna understand that my pride got in the way and I had to do something to this nigga, but now I got a new case. Yeah. Now I gotta stay longer. So now I just told my daughter that, yo, daddy close now. He almost home. He almost by you. Now I gotta tell her, shit, now I'm in space. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta make another lie. Now I gotta tell her I'm an astronaut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now she watching fucking space shit talking about, yeah, daddy on the moon. Like, what type of shit is that? What the fuck is that? Like,
Hey, shout out to y'all niggas with niggas alive.
you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't do none of that. So my thing to you is that I just really had to say to myself like yo, Smirk, what's more important? The development of my child.
Right.
Is the most important thing. As long as I'm being that role model, I'm being the one that is stand up. I'm being the one that is protecting them. Because my thing is that if I'm not teaching my daughter, somebody else is going to teach her. Right? So I can't allow that because I don't know what teachers they may be teaching them. Right? I don't know what they may be telling them. So
what they may be doing.
Exactly. So I got to be there. So my thing is though is that what makes me feel good is like when I see my daughter tells me, "You the best daddy ever. Love you, daddy." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
that shit
touch your heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, like fuck
we like that.
Fuck everything else. Fuck all the dumb shit. Fuck all the street cred. Fuck that. When my daughter tells me that you the best daddy ever. And we sit there, we have fun, and we bug out.
Make you feel like you on Mount Everest. Like, I am the best dad in the world. Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? I am. That's me.
Yeah. You know,
as long as you say that, that's me. That's how I feel.
That's
and
good.
you know what? Guess what? I am the best dad. Because you the best son. You the best daughter.
Yeah.
Yo, but listen, we about to wrap this up. And one thing we about to say as a finale, man, shout out to incarcerated fathers who are doing their job, fulfilling their roles, who are having communication with their children. Man, just like my cousin said, just because you're locked up does not stop you from being a father. Just because you're behind them walls does not mean that you don't have anyone to look after. Bro, we're here. We are fathers. Through and through. We love our kids. Don't let nobody tell you nothing fucking different. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, cause you incarcerated, you can't be this, that, and the third. No. Keep an open line of communication with your wife or baby moms. Try your best, and whatever you need to do to get out, please get out. Get your son, your daughter, and live a prosperous life. Because ain't nothing more important than your son or daughter telling you, Daddy, I love you. And look how we're going to end the podcast.
On this note, as my cousin just spoke about, and I feel like it's imperative that I say this, right? Because being a father means so much to me. It saved my life. It definitely made me grow up. It made me a better individual. It made me a better brother. Made me a better cousin. Made me a better uncle. It's just a better person in life, period. Tomorrow is Father's Day, right? And I'm saluting the fathers that are fathers. Not because you got a child. No. Not because you got a chick pregnant. I'm talking about fathers, the one that make the sacrifices, right? The one that's sitting there giving their child the tools that they need to go in society, right, and be successful, right? I'm talking about the fathers that put the time in. I'm talking about the fathers that sit there and really put the work in.
And sacrifice.
That really put the work in, that are sacrificing out here, right? And understand that, that, you know, one thing my child mother, like, sometimes if she need me to, take my child for like a week or something like that, she might say, yo, man, thank you, because I needed this break or this time. I'd be like, yo, well, why are you thanking me? Don't thank me for something that is my duty. When I had my child, that was my duty. My duty by my child is to make sure that she's protected, make sure that she's safe, and make sure that I give her the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding. So when she go out here in the world, she's successful. Because my thing is this thing. I don't want my child to be out there in the world and be like a daddy. the world snatched me up because you didn't teach me or you didn't tell me. That can't. That's not. That can't. I feel comfortable knowing I gave my child all the tools that they needed to go in the world and make their decisions. Because I never want my child to tell me you didn't tell me I didn't know. No, I told you and you knew. So like I said, tomorrow is Father's Day. I like to salute all the fathers. Shout it out. Happy Father's Day, John. You know what I'm saying? And know that the individuals that are locked up understand this though. They might like you. You might be locked up physically, but mentally you're not locked up, and you can still make things happen. So another podcast down. Shout it out.
Shout it out.
Shout it out.